Hi friends, many people worship Goddess Lakshmi because she represents wealth. Those people who want to be wealthy, sometimes they adore Goddess Lakshmi, but we don't know whom she adores. Sometimes some people may start their life doing small business and then they turn to be the wealthiest persons. Some people, they may invest lot of money and they may turn to be paupers also. So it is not there in our hands. We don't know how our fate is written. It's all depends on destiny. Sometimes Goddess Lakshmi may come to us in any form. It may come in the form of pumpkin also. Let us know the story. Friends, once Lakshmi Mata came to a person in the form of a pumpkin. How? Any doubt? Let us know the story so that you can understand. Now let's get into the story, friends. Once lived the king who was giving thousands or sometimes lakhs of varahas who were praising him through their actions or through flattery. Once a man named Lakshyant stood in front of his palace. He knew the art of twisting a wooden stick very carefully and very skillfully. One day the king went to the forest for hunting. He too followed the king. When the king was hunting the animals with bow and arrow or any other weapons, Lakshyant, just by moving the stick very fast in different ways, and was killing the animals only with the stick. The king was surprised. Next day, again he stood in front of the king's palace without saying a word. The king thought, I am giving lakhs of varahas to anyone who pleases me. But I don't understand why I don't feel like giving him anything. Perhaps he doesn't have Lakshmi's grace. Once there was battle. There was war between his kingdom and neighboring kingdom. Lakshyant followed the king's soldiers and fought with enemies and killed many just by using his stick, turning it in different directions very skillfully. Again, he stood in front of the king's palace without saying a word. King thought, this man protected my kingdom in his own way, but still I don't feel like giving him anything in return. Doesn't this man have Goddess Lakshmi's grace? Okay, I will indirectly test him if he has Lakshmi's grace. That night, he ordered his men to get a pumpkin. He cut its base where there was the stalk fixed, removed all stuff inside along with seeds. Then it became hollow. Filled it with 1 lakh varahas, closed it very skillfully with same stalk and with some same colored paste. So nobody could suspect there was something else. He called Lakshyant inside and asked him to sing a song. He sang so beautifully, so melodiously, and the king presented him the pumpkin. What? I served him in many ways. Is it the gift he gave me? I can't reject it too. Holding it very carefully, he was walking on the road. He found a Bauddha Bhikshu. He gave it to him. Feeling happy, Bauddha Bhikshu gave him a cloth. Bhikshu thought, I am going to the king. I will present him this pumpkin. Thinking so, Bauddha Bhikshu presented that pumpkin to the king. The king only knew it was the one gifted to Lakshyant. Again on seeing Lakshyant, he called him inside and gave it to him. Besides Lakshyant, all were surprised. Our king gives lot of money for small favors, but he is giving only pumpkin to this guy. Holding it very carefully, he was again going back home, hiding his anger. This time, another man coming from other direction, and he asked him, Can you give me this pumpkin? I will give you this silk cloth. He took out the cloth from his shoulders and gave it to him. In return, Lakshman gave that pumpkin to that man. The second man thought, Our king likes any curries made of pumpkin. I will give it to him. The king thought Goddess Lakshmi doesn't want to stay with Lakshyanth. That is why it is coming back to me. Third time also he called Lakshyanth and gave the same pumpkin. This time he was so irritated with the king but controlled his anger. This time a lady who dances in king's palace saw pumpkin in his hands. This pumpkin looks so awesome. Can you give it to me and I will give my bracelet to you? What? Just for pumpkin which doesn't worth even one varaha, she is giving bracelet. Thus he got 3 items for that pumpkin. He wore the cloth given by Bauddha Bhikshu as dhoti, wore silk cloth on his shoulder and wore bracelet on his wrist and stood in front of the king's palace again. Meanwhile, the dancer came to the palace and gave that pumpkin to the king. Perhaps Lakshyanth must be in front of my palace. He invited him inside. Lakshyanth, you are looking so handsome in this attire and bracelet. Come inside, I will give you pumpkin. King's actions were not understood either by Lakshyanth or by his men. He thought, anyway, I got some items. Each time he gives me a pumpkin. So this time, very happily he took it and was going home expecting something from others in exchange with that pumpkin. While he was going to his home, it slipped. That pumpkin slipped from his hands and all varaha scattered over the ground. Then he realized that it is not just pumpkin, but containing a lot of treasure in it. Collected all varahas into it and went back to the king, fell on his feet for misunderstanding him. Forgive me, Maharaj, I didn't even check carefully what it contained. I am very grateful to you. Then the king said, we don't know when Goddess Lakshmi pours forth her grace. It took this much time for you to get her grace. You too patiently waited in front of my palace, so she was pleased and reached you now, said the king. Thus, friends, this story reveals we need to have lot of patience to attain success. Lakshmi represents not only wealth but also success. If we want to attain success or wealth, we need to have lot of patience. Then success will be ours. Let's come with some other interesting topic in our next video. Till then, bye.